How to desexualize your mind. There's four ways that I can think about. Number one, you need to quit. If you are still watching porn, there's no point in watching the rest of the video. You can't desexualize your mind when you watch porn, because when you watch porn, you get hooked on porn, you are addicted to porn, and therefore you objectify women. You hypersexualize your brain. You can't desexualize your mind if you are doing the complete opposite, which is hypersexualizing your mind through images, through videos, through objectification. You need to quit porn. That is the first step. And if you quit porn, you would have done 75% of the desexualizing process, because porn is that impactful. So, my friends, quit porn and you would have done most of the work. Of course, when I say quitting porn, it is also important that you are not promiscuous, that you are not constantly chasing sex. If you are men, have easy access to sex with a lot of women, and you are constantly thinking about sex, you would pretty much be doing the same thing as if you were addicted to porn. But that time you would be addicted to sex. Quit porn and do not think only about ejaculation, whether it's through porn or with a woman. Number two, stop staring at women. This one is a hard one. If you are constantly checking out women, you are objectifying them. Yes, obviously, you see a beautiful woman, you want to look. The male brain releases dopamine when we see an attractive woman. But there's a difference between looking at an attractive woman and lingering and gazing and starting making films in your mind. That's why there's no real benefit except for the short term gratification from looking at a woman. Now, if you are someone who approach women, that's a different thing. But if you're not going to approach her, you can look at a woman and just look away. You don't need to linger. You don't need to look back. You definitely don't need to do mental movies with that woman. Do your own porn. So when you see a woman in the street, just look away. Don't look back and do not linger. There's no point. And by doing that, you objectify women less, because you can see women as human beings, not as object of gratification. Number three, meditation. Meditation is essential, especially if you want to quit porn and reduce the objectification you have of women. When you meditate, whether it's breath work, whether it's vipassana, whatever the case might be, you choose what works for you. I personally do vipassana, and I will make more videos on how to use meditation, especially to quit porn and other addiction. When you meditate, you are aware of what is happening in your consciousness, in your mind. And when you have impulses, whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, whether it's porn, you can easily let them go. Maybe not at the beginning, but the more you meditate, the more you are aware, the more you can sit, accept, and even embrace those urges without indulging them. Guarantee, if you are to meditate, if you are to practice letting go, your urges will not have as much control over you. You will be able to tame them, to overcome them, and to be able to cope with them and be much stronger, much wiser, and much more resilient in the best way possible. When I say resilient, I'm saying resilient with compassion, not with willpower, not forcing. You are letting go, you're accepting, even embracing. Number four, which is related to number three, mindfulness. Whatever you do in your life, you need mindfulness. You need to be focused on whatever you're doing in the present. I'm making a video right now. I'm fully focused on making the best video I can. I'm giving it my all. When you're at the gym, you focus on the weight. When you're boxing, you focus on the work. When you are learning a language, you focus on learning language, on listening to that language, on learning vocabulary, whatever the case might be. If you are sleeping, you focus on rest. If you are commuting, you focus on your steps. You focus on what you see. You focus on what is happening in your mind. You pick something to focus on. There's always something to focus on. When you are mindful, your mind is not as restless because you have a single point of focus. And that focus makes you stay in the present moment, makes you stay in the flow of the things, whether it's working, whether it's commuting, whether it's walking. There's a reason why walking is so beneficial. When you walk without necessarily listening to music, by just enjoying the present moment, focusing on the step, focusing on what you see, focusing on your thoughts, and letting them be, you are mindful. And that mindfulness is amazing, especially when you have those urges. Because once you have those triggers that come to mind, you can just be aware of them. And as clouds that passes you by, your thoughts will do exactly the same. Will pass you by, and you'll move on to the next thing that comes into your mind. So you are more in control when you're mindful because you're not susceptible to all those impulses the mind has. So there you go. Four things: quit porn, lower your gaze, meditation, and mindfulness. When you do that, and when you're consistent with that, guarantee your mind will be much more desexualized. Not only that, your life will have a new meaning, a meaning where sex and ejaculation and porn do not have control over you. You will feel true freedom, and not freedom to desire, but freedom from desire. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Sebastian, your addiction recovery coach. Links are in the description box below for those of you who need my help with quitting porn and desexualizing their mind. Or you can send me a message on Telegram or WhatsApp. It is below.